Here we are again. Oh, yes, hello there. How nice of you to drop by and say hello. Here we go again. Yes, you can see that we have another live stream. Looking out of the window, you can see that many of the daffodils are now starting to shrivel up. They are starting to go all limp. A bit like me, really. Here we are, yes, together once again. English. Almost every day. Live from the birthplace of the English language, which just happens to be England. Ooh. Here we go again. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? Are you feeling happy today? I hope you're feeling good on this special day. It is a special day because we are all here together. Wherever you happen to be in the world, I welcome you. And I hope you have a good time with me today and everyone else. You might say that we are all English addicts. We are crazy about the English language. And also maybe a little bit crazy as well. So I hope you're feeling good. I want to see that smile on your face today. I really hope so. And yes, I am wearing my black shirt, another black shirt. I have quite a collection. Can I just say, I have a big collection of black shirts, black t-shirts. However, I don't wear them very often. I used to wear black t-shirts quite often, but not anymore. And the reason is, well, it's a fear that I have of having dandruff. If you have dandruff, you know what dandruff is. Dandruff is those little pieces of flaky skin that come off your head. And of course, if you are wearing dark clothing, black clothing, then those little white flakes will show up on your clothes and everyone will know that you have dandruff. Although, having said that, you never hear people talk about dandruff anymore. It used to be all over the place. I remember growing up in the 1970s, there were always advertisements for shampoo, a certain type of shampoo called, you know which one I'm talking about, and that was designed to keep the dandruff away. It's a very strange word, dandruff. It sounds like somebody's name. I went to school with a guy called Dandruff. He used to bully me. He used to put me in the waste paper basket and carry me around the classroom. Sometimes. Dandruff. Do people still have dandruff? It would appear that we've moved on to other things now, you see. It's all about keeping your skin looking young, looking youthful. So it would appear that we don't worry too much anymore about dandruff. It would appear that it's disappeared. And as you can see, my lovely shirt, there is no dandruff. I am dandruff free. There is no dandruff. So my fear of having little flakes of skin on my clothing has now disappeared, just like my dandruff. I don't think people talk about it anymore, do they? I can't remember the last time anyone talked about dandruff. I wonder how many times I'm going to say dandruff today. I've said it around about 36 times already, and maybe I will say it again. Dandruff. There we go, 37. I am with you almost every day during April. You may have heard the news. They were talking about it last night on CNN. We're talking about Mr. Duncan doing almost every day during April, 25 live streams during this month, and yes, I am with you from Sunday to Friday, but not Saturday because I have to have some time off. I have to have a little bit of a break, you see, to rest my little voice and my brain. I have to have at least one day during the week when my brain has a chance to cool down. It takes a lot of energy, physical and mental, to do this, trust me, especially when it's live. And not many people will do that. And you know why? Because it's very difficult. It's all very nice recording your lessons and doing things on video, because you can do it as many times as you want, but you don't get any chances. You get 0 chances when you are doing it live. So if you are here live spontaneously, you get no chances. You get no second opportunity. You can only do it once, and you have to get it right. So much pressure. So what about you? Do you suffer from dandruff? It's a very strange one. I made the mistake this morning of doing something. I made a terrible mistake, especially at the moment, because I am feeling a little bit fragile for various reasons that I won't go into, but I am feeling a little bit fragile, vulnerable. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, it doesn't matter because we are here together, so I'm sure I will cheer you up, and I hope you will cheer me up as well with your lovely messages. Yes, we have made it all the way to the second day of the week. A lot of people like this particular day because it's Tuesday. Yes, it is Tuesday, and it is a super duper day for doing a live stream. I think so. I think it's a perfect opportunity. It's the perfect opportunity, in fact, for doing it. Hello also to the live chat. I wonder who was first on today's live chat. Who out there has a fast finger? We will find out right now. Oh, hello to Jimmy. Jimmy from Hong Kong. You arrived at exactly 2 o'clock. Well done. We also had Vitas and also Angelina, Paolo, Sandra, Richard. Wow. Also, Luis Mendez is here as well. We also had Mika. All of you arrived at exactly 2 o'clock. So I suppose I should say congratulations. You are all first on today's live chat. I really can't get too excited. I can't, because I have another 3 of these to do. And then I'm back next Sunday as well. So we have 25 live streams coming during the month of April. And it is a busy month for many people. Lots of festivals going on. We have Easter coming up on the 17th of April. A very special day for me because I can eat as much chocolate as I want. And that's the reason why I love Easter so much, because I can eat so much chocolate. And you will be amazed. You might be surprised to find out just how much chocolate I can shove into my mouth. You might be surprised. Then again, you might not. Can you believe Mr. Steve said to me yesterday, he said he's going to take a few days off from work during April. And he wants to go away somewhere. He wants to take a trip somewhere. But the only problem is I'm doing my daily live streams during April. So now we have a little bit of a difficulty because Steve wants to have some time off and he wants to do a little bit of travelling. He wants to get away and he wants me to come with him. So we might have to try and arrange something where Steve can have his break, but also we can go away somewhere. I don't know where. We have no idea. I suggested London. I did. I said London. What about London, Steve? How about going to London and we can do a live stream from London? But he didn't seem too pleased about that. However, on Steve's birthday, his sister gave Steve a special token that allows him to go for a very nice meal somewhere. And one of the places that we could go to, it is on the list of places that we can actually visit and eat at, is the Ritz in London. Oh, very nice, very sophisticated. So we are thinking now about going away during April, but it has to be somewhere where we can still do our live streams. I don't know where we are going at the moment because we haven't really talked about it very much. We talked about it last night and I suggested London and then Steve said nothing else after that. So I have a feeling that Steve does not want to go to London. I think he has something else in mind, but I would love to do that. I've never done a live stream. In fact, I've never made a video ever in London, which seems strange. And yes, London is a very long way from here, but I think it would be quite a good adventure, especially nowadays, because you can use your mobile phone quite easily when you're walking around, because now many parts of the UK have 5G. Super fast. So we should be able to do a very good live stream using 5G. Anyway, that's all I can say for now because we haven't decided. So I was rather surprised when Steve said he was going to take some time off work during April because I'm very busy doing this. So we will try to come to an arrangement, some sort of agreement. We will try to do that. Hello also to the live chat once again. Thank you very much for joining me today. We also have Angelina. Hello, Angelina. Or should I say Angelina, Angelina, Angelina. I'm saying your name. Hello, we also have, we have Florence, we have Eric, we have Renato. Hello, Renato. It seems like a very long time since I last saw you here. Welcome back. Very nice. Hello also to Claudia. Hello, Claudia. Nice to see you here as well. It is very scenic behind me. So behind me at the moment, that is actually the view right now outside my window. We are having a rather strange day as far as the weather is concerned. Wind, grey skies. It is blowing quite a gale, in fact, outside. And it's not very warm either. And apparently it's going to get very cold during the week once again, as April, quite often the month of April can be very unsettled with the weather. So you can have quite mild weather, but also very cold weather. And you can also have lots of rain. We often associate April with rain. We often expect lots of rain during April. But so far we haven't had much. Hello also to Min Tien. We also have Barcelona. Hello to Barcelona. Hello, Barcelona. And that is Ma del Carme. Estelle. Hello to you watching in Barcelona. Nice to see you here as well. So many people here. Hello also Toho Min, who is watching in Vietnam. Hello, Vietnam. Nice to see you as well. Christina. Hello, Christina Bourne. Very nice to see you here. From a very nice part of the world, one of my favourite areas, Cheshire. Some beautiful landscape. A few years ago, Mr. Steve and myself, we went up to Derbyshire, which is very close. It's on the border, very near to Cheshire. And we did actually drive all the way into Cheshire as well. And we had a lovely time. Lots of tea and lots of cakes were consumed, let's just say. Crewe. So Christina is actually watching in Crewe, which is in Cheshire, which is in the UK. Or more precisely, England. Hello to you. Crewe. Now, whenever I think of Crewe, I always think of all the trains, because there used to be a bit of a joke where everyone would say that every train in the country would call at Crewe. I'm not sure how true that is, but I know a lot of trains do stop at Crewe. C-R-E-W-E. So it's a place. It's a town. The town of Crewe. And we used to always have the joke where a lot of people would say that all the trains would always stop. Every train stops at Crewe. Is that really true, though? Is it true? We will have to see. Hello, this is YouTube Live with Mr. Duncan. It is like music to my ears. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Christina says, yes, there is Crewe Junction. That's it. Well, my brother-in-law, I've never mentioned this before, but my brother-in-law actually works on the railways. He has a very responsible job, my brother-in-law. He has to operate all of the signals. So the trains must always go in the right direction. They must always take the right track or the left track or just keep going straight. So my brother-in-law, Stuart, he actually works on the signals. He is responsible for making sure all the trains go in the right direction. And none of them ever meet face to face. Because you don't want that, you see. It's not good. It's not a good thing. It's a very easy way of getting fired from your job by pulling the wrong signal. It's a very responsible job. Hello also to Red Red. Oh, hello, Red Red. Or should I say, oim, oim. Hello to you. Very nice as well. Mr. Duncan, do you know Vietnam? Minh Tien. I do. I've heard of Vietnam. I know it very well. Yes, very near to, I suppose I would say China, very close to Korea. A great part of the world, and a part of the world that I've never really explored. I've never been to Vietnam. I will be honest with you. There are many countries I would like to go to in that part of the world. Vietnam, Korea, Japan. I've never been to any of those places, but I would love to visit there one day. Yes, we were talking about dandruff earlier. And my theory is that no one has dandruff anymore. And as you can see today, I have no dandruff on my black t-shirt. Not one flake at all. I made the mistake this morning. I made a big mistake. I decided to look at some photographs. I have lots of photographs. Here we go. When I say photographs, I don't mean photographs that I store in my computer. I mean photographs that were actually printed. Do people still do that? Do you still have photographs printed? Or do you normally just keep them on your computer? So I don't think many people nowadays actually have photographs printed. I think quite often they keep them in their computer or on the cloud. But yes, I was looking at some photographs this morning. And I think you have to be in the right mind. You have to be feeling quite good before you start looking at photographs, especially when you are looking at pictures of yourself from many years ago. And that's what I was doing. So I was looking at lots of photographs of myself from many years ago. And I don't know why. It made me feel a bit sad. It did. I don't know why. Normally, I like looking at old photographs. I do. I like looking at old pictures of people that I used to know, or people from my family, people who were around, but sadly they are no longer here. So I was looking at photographs not only of myself but also Mr. Steve. I've got some great photographs of Steve when we first met over 30 years ago. Some brilliant photographs. There's one. There's a photograph of me. Did you see that? That's me. Looking very slim and young. Ah, dear me. And some more photographs here. So there's Mr. Steve. I think that's Mr. Steve with my mother. Yes, it is. So there you can see Steve, but also my lovely mum as well. My mother is on that photograph. And I think that's the reason why I started to feel a little sad, a little emotional. Because as you know, my mother is not very well at the moment. So suddenly seeing pictures of my mother many years ago, looking healthy and young, really did make me feel a little emotional. So what about you? Do you ever look at old photographs of yourself? Do you ever look at old pictures from your past? Do you ever reminisce, think about the past? It's something that I used to do quite a lot. These days I don't, because I find that if my mind is in the wrong place, maybe if I'm feeling a little bit emotional or vulnerable, I might not do it. But I did make the mistake this morning of starting to look at all of these photographs. And then suddenly I saw some pictures of my mother looking young and lovely. And it was a very strange moment of time, I have to say. So I think you have to be careful when you look back, when you remember things. You have to make sure that your mind is in a good place, because mine certainly wasn't this morning. Anna. Hello, Anna. Anna says you look great wearing this black t-shirt, Mr. Duncan. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you to say. As I mentioned earlier, I do have a lot of black t-shirts, a lot of dark t-shirts, but I don't normally wear them, to be honest. Claudia says, yes, you can be sad or you can be thankful because of those lovely times. Well, that is it. Yes, I think you're right, Claudia. That is it. Maybe there is a feeling, maybe your emotions are mixed, because you can have mixed emotions about things, especially when you're looking back over the past. And photographs are the most amazing things. And that's why I like taking pictures. When Mr. Steve and myself, when we go out, when we go for a walk, or if we go into town, I like taking photographs. And sometimes Steve gets a bit annoyed, because when I get my phone out, he knows I'm going to start taking lots of photographs. But I do like that, because then years and years from now, you can look at those pictures. You can relive those little moments of time, and you might be surprised how valuable those tiny moments of time can become. It is very strange. Hello to... English Lessons. Hello, English Lessons. I like your name, by the way. Apparently, April is the cruelest month. I have heard of that before. I've heard that said. I can't remember why, but I have heard that before. Hello, Wendell. Wendell Silver, who says, hello, good morning, friends. I am back. Hello, Wendell. It's nice to see you back here. very good to see you back. And I'm very happy to see that you've decided to rejoin and say hello to us on the live chat as well. I'm going to take a break so I can rest my throat, but we do have lots of things to talk about today. We are talking about people, maybe friends, maybe members of your family who you knew many years ago, but maybe you have lost contact with them. We're talking about that. Also, we're going to play a little game together, something we can share together, something we can both get involved with. I'm going to talk about describing something by using just one word. And it is possible to do that. It is possible to describe something, maybe a feeling or an opinion or anything, using just one word. And we will be looking at that as well. But right now, a little break and an excerpt from one of my favourite episodes of Full English. Who remembers when I went into the garden and I decided to set fire to lots of things? Well, that is the excerpt we are going to watch right now. And then we will be back live. Can you see what I'm doing today? I'm preparing to light a fire. I have some old wood and garden debris to dispose of. To start a fire, you need some dry material. This will light easily. Paper is the most common material used, or small pieces of wood will also do the job. The material used to start a fire is called kindling. You use kindling to start the fire. Kindling establishes the fire. There is also the word kindle, which means to start a fire. Kindling is a noun, while kindle is a verb. I will use a match to start the fire. I will strike the match and light the paper. This will start the fire. The paper will ignite. The word ignite comes from the Latin word for fire. We sometimes use the word pyro to describe something related to fire. For example, a person who is addicted to starting fires can be called a pyromaniac. The most obvious parts of a fire are the flames and smoke. Can you see the flames? The movement of the flames cannot be predicted. Flames move randomly. We can use the word lick to describe the movement of a fire's flame. The flames licked around the door frame. A flame flickers. We can describe the flame on a candle as a flickering flame. A flame can shimmer, flicker, glow, dance. The fire I'm lighting today will be safely contained. This container is called an incinerator. You burn things in an incinerator. The inside of the incinerator will become very hot. To keep the fire under control, I must put this lid on it. Now the fire will burn steadily and remain safe. The small hole in the centre of the lid allows the smoke to escape in a controlled way, just like the chimney on a house would. Fires are fun to watch, but they can also be very dangerous, especially if they get out of control. After the fire has gone out, there is normally some debris left. This grey-looking substance is called ash. This is all that is left of what was burned. You can also put out a fire using water. This action can be described as extinguish. You extinguish the fire. You put the fire out. You have extinguished the flames. The fire has been put out.
A lot of people saying, Mr. Duncan, you are a pyromaniac. That's what we call a person who is crazy about starting fires. Do. Here we go. We're back. Yes, we are now back live. Hello and welcome to Tuesday. I am doing lots and lots of live English streams during the month of April. 25 in total. Dandruff. There we go. That's 30 times. I think I've said it 30 times now. Or is it 40? I've said dandruff 40 times. And now it's 41. My name is Duncan, and what is your name, I wonder? Hello. Thank you very much for joining me today. We are talking about the English language, and that's what we do here. And that's what we will be doing many, many times during the month of April. I hope you are feeling good today. Hello also to... Oh, we have... He's here. Although... just for a few moments. Pedro Belmont is here today. Hello to Pedro. Nice to see you here as well. Today we are looking at one or two things. I think a good subject to talk about. Now, I was talking about photographs earlier. Photographs of yourself, photographs of friends, you see here? So here are some photographs of me. So this is me many years ago. There I am in London, and there I am at home. In fact, I think this particular photograph was taken around 32 years ago. It's true. So that particular photograph was taken 32 years ago. And I think this one was taken maybe 25 years ago. So these are very old photographs. And that's what I was doing this morning, you see. I was looking at old photographs. And I thought of an interesting subject. I thought, maybe there is a situation where there are people from your past with whom you've lost contact. So I thought it might be a good thing to talk about very briefly. People with whom you have lost contact. And I think it's true. And sometimes you lose contact with someone, but you can't remember why or how. It just happens. As life goes by, as your responsibilities become more and more, they become more demanding, we often find that we can leave people behind or lose contact
with people. And I was thinking this morning of some of the people I used to know many years ago, but I don't know them anymore. It's as if they've vanished, not only from my life, but also from the face of the earth. And yet I know they still exist, and I know they are still alive. Well, as far as I know they are. So I have lots of friends who I used to know during my teenage years, who now I have no idea where they are or what they are doing. Hello to Paolo. If you and Mr. Steve want to come to my house in Italy for a holiday, you are welcome. You can stay as long as you want. Thank you, Paolo. That's a very nice offer. We have had some offers for maybe accommodation in other parts of the world. The only problem is finding time to do it, and also, as you know, travelling to different countries at the moment is still a little difficult. But yes, are there any people in your life, maybe friends, maybe even relatives? It is possible to also lose contact with members of your family. And there are many reasons why that can happen. Maybe you just lose contact. Maybe they move to another part of the country, or maybe to another part of the world, and you lose touch with them, you lose contact with them. It can happen. So it can happen even with members of your own family, maybe an aunt or an uncle, and they move away, and then you lose contact with them. So people whom you have lost contact, and maybe someone you would like to find again. So there are some friends from my past who I would love to get in touch with, but I have completely lost contact with them. So I don't know where they are. I don't know what their email address is. I don't know their phone number. It's almost as if they vanished into thin air. In fact, the only way I know that I used to know those people is because I have photographs with them at parties or at my mother's house. So when my friends used to come round, we would have something to eat at my mother's house. Or sometimes we would go out on a Saturday night and have a few beers. We did used to do that. I know what you're going to say, Mr. Duncan. It doesn't seem possible. We can't believe that you used to go out to the pub drinking. But yes, of course, when you're young, around 18, 19, I used to go out with my friend Craig. I had a friend called Craig, and we used to go out every Saturday night, and we would go around all of the pubs in Stafford. The Swan, the Bear, where else? Vine. There was the Vine Hotel in Stafford. We used to go there as well and have quite a few drinks. The Swan Hotel is where we used to drink most of our beer. And sometimes we would have Bacardi and Coke, which is not. I know you're going to say, Mr. Duncan, it is not a very manly drink. Do men drink Bacardi and Coke? Well, no, not normally. Hello to Art B. I had a close friend from Japan that I used to talk with every day, but some days my friend disappeared off the face of the earth. They never replied to my emails, and I still miss my friend. Thank you, Art B. It is strange how it happens. How does that happen in life? How can you have someone who is close to you as a friend, and then suddenly they seem to vanish from your life? But the worst part of all is quite often you can't remember how it happened. How did we lose contact? How did it happen? Maybe you had a fight. Maybe you just drifted apart. You drift apart. So it's a little bit like being on the ocean or floating down a river. you slowly drift apart. You know each other, you are close friends, and then over time you slowly drift apart. And then eventually you lose contact completely. So I have tried to find some of my friends from many years ago on Facebook. Sometimes I put their name into Facebook, but I can't find any results. Nothing. It's almost as if they've vanished off the face of the earth. Hello, Christine. Christina says, only Facebook will allow me to be in contact with a friend. I have no time to visit them. Well, I think these days, and I think it is fair to say that these days, many friendships are done virtually. So in this day and age, when we talk about the internet, we have things like Facebook. And it is amazing, despite all of the negative publicity, a lot of people still use Facebook. I have a Facebook, and I have a feeling maybe you do as well. So Facebook is a very good way of keeping in touch with people casually, or maybe it is more convenient to keep in touch with people through the internet. And Facebook, I suppose, is a good example of the way of doing that. I'm so old, I remember MySpace. Who remembers MySpace? So that was the first Facebook before Facebook came along and took away all of the competition. But yes, there used to be MySpace. I wonder if it still exists. Does MySpace still exist? Can you still go on MySpace and find your friends? Mika says, I have lost contact with many of my friends, but nowadays we have SMS, which is, of course, text messaging. Very convenient. So especially young people can keep in contact with their friends forever. Yes, I suppose so. I would imagine if you are young and you have lots of friends, and maybe you have people who you just keep in touch with through the internet, through email or Facebook, or I suppose these days many people are using WhatsApp as well. It's become quite popular. And I think, yes, that is a way of making sure that you never lose contact. So there are people in my life who I would love to get back in touch with. The only problem is I can't find them. I've searched on the internet. I've put their names into all search engines and I can't find them. Another one, of course, is work colleagues, people you used to work with. And over my life, I've done many jobs. If you are a regular viewer, you will know that I've done many jobs in my life, many strange jobs, and I've met lots and lots of people, and I've worked with lots of lovely people and some not so lovely as well. But yes, we often find ourselves losing contact. It's very strange. Hello, Raphael. Mr. Duncan, you just said friendships are done. So I can use done as well, not just made. Well, when we say done, we are just talking about something being over. So if a friendship is done, it means it has ended. So something that ends or something that has been completed is done. It is finished. It is over. So a friendship can be done. And when we say that, we mean that it's ended. So I have many friendships that have been done. They've come to an end for various reasons. However, I am very sure that most of my friendships did not end badly. Most of them just slowly faded away into the mists of time. Palmyra. Hello, Palmyra. Hello also to... Can I say hello to... interesting. Exo. Hello, Exolay. I'm very intrigued by your name, by the way. Very interesting. I'm always intrigued. Whenever I see a new name on the live chat, I'm always a little intrigued to find out where people are. So we are talking about friendships, maybe people that you used to know, maybe people who moved on with their lives. Of course, one of the problems that can also arise, especially if you have female friends, is quite often they will get married. And when they get married, their name will change. So if you know someone called Julie Smith in your childhood, maybe Julie Smith married David Perkins. So now her name is Julie Perkins. And maybe you don't even know what her husband's name is. So it becomes almost impossible to find that person. So I think it is harder to find female friends or females that you've known in the past, because their name will change when they get married. So they will have their original family name. We often call that their maiden name. So the maiden name is the name that a woman has before she gets married. So Julie Smith becomes Julie Perkins because she married a man whose family name is Perkins. So they can vanish very quickly, almost instantly, when they get married, because their name changes almost completely. And of course, some people do change their name as well, completely. All of their name. They might not like their name. Maybe they hate their family and they want to become anonymous. They might decide to change their whole name completely so they can't be found anywhere. A bit of a Saul Goodman moment where you can vanish into thin air. I think so. Hello, Anna. Now, I think Anna is watching in Ukraine, and I have received some messages asking why I don't talk about Ukraine all the time. Well, I do mention it, but of course, for some people, it's a very painful thing to listen to someone talk about. But I suppose over the last couple of days, the focus of attention from around the world has become much stronger over the past 24, 48 hours for various reasons. Some absolutely shocking pictures and photographs and video footage coming through from Ukraine. Quite shocking, in fact. So we are all with you. We are thinking about you during this rather difficult time. Hello to Marwa. Oh, or should I say Marwa? Marwa, welcome. People with whom you have lost contact. If you want to mention that again, you can. We are also going to play a little game now. Would you like to play a game? Okay, then. We are going to play a game. I'm going to show you some words. And what I want you to do is to give me one word as a response. And this is a very good way of testing how quickly you can think. In fact, I used to play this game with my students, my adult students. And what we would often do is have words, and they would have to read the word, and then they would have to say something that is a response to that word. And it's a very good way of training your brain to think quickly. So not a sentence, but just one word. For example, I might say summer, and you might say warm. So that's the first thing you think of. That's the first thing you say when you think of that particular word. So that's what we're going to do now, and I hope it will make sense. I hope I explained it very well. Using one word to express something. So let's have a look at the background. Well, it is possible to express one's feelings with just a single word. It is. And sometimes it can be easier to do that, to express your feeling or your reaction or the appearance of something. So how something appears, how something looks. Quite often we will use maybe a single word, or we can use a single word to describe the appearance of something. Maybe Mr. Duncan's garden. So my garden can be described probably by using just one word. Someone might say it is beautiful. Some people might say green. Your garden is green. Because when you look at my garden, you can see that there are many leaves. You might describe it as large, wide. So I suppose there are many ways of describing something using just one word. For example, the appearance of something, or maybe the feeling that has been experienced. So we can have an experience, we can feel something, and maybe sometimes we will just use one word to express that feeling. How do you feel? Happy. How do you feel? Unhappy. How do you feel? Great. So it is possible to use just one word. The quality of something, how good or bad something is. We can express how good something is or how bad something is by using just one word. Also, we can have an emotional response to something. The emotion that comes from inside can be expressed by using just one word. A reply to something is also a response. Maybe you reply to something with just one word, especially if you are feeling emotional. Quite often, if you feel emotional or upset or excited about something, maybe you will only use one word. If a person answers or replies with just one word, we might describe that person as being sharp because they're just using one word. So it can be seen as rude or impolite to respond to someone with just one word. It can be seen as something that is not good. To be curt with someone. Maybe you answer someone with just one word. You respond. Maybe you respond in an angry way. We can use the word curt. To be curt with someone means that you are not saying very much in response, maybe because you are angry or in a hurry, or maybe you are really excited. You can also be short with someone. So it means that you are answering someone, but you are not replying with many words. You are being short with someone. And quite often this is seen as a negative thing. It can be seen as negative. So here are some words. Would you like to have a look at some words? And what I want you to do is join in for the next few minutes. And I'm going to show you some words. And what I want you to do is type one word in response. So everyone can get involved. This is not a contest. It's not a quiz. It is a way of allowing you to open your mind, to explore, and to test your reaction. and how you react to certain words. But please just give me one word. So I'm going to put some words on the screen, and I want you to write just one word. Whatever you think about, whatever comes into your mind, just use one word. And here is the first word. There it is. The first word on the screen. Internet. Internet. I just want one word. Respond with one word. That's all I'm asking. Ah, Raphael. Very good. So Raphael has given addiction. Addiction. Yes, I think that is great. So it's almost like one word can lead your brain to think in a certain way or come up with a certain word. It's almost like one of those psychological tests when they show you the ink drawing or the ink blot, and you have to come up with your own thoughts. Daniel says information. Yes, internet. We often say information. It's the place where you can learn, find out, read the news. Information. So internet and information can go together. Angelina says accounts. Accounts. Yes, you can have an account on the internet. I mentioned earlier you can have your Facebook account. You can have your Instagram account. Twitter account. So the account is the thing that you belong to, you normally register, and you join. You become a member. Claudia says connection. Good one. I like that one. Connection. Internet. Connection. One of the things that many people think about when we talk about the internet is people connecting with each other. The internet and connection. That's very good. Red says knowledge. It is a good place to go to if you want to learn something. It is a good place to visit if you need some information, if you need to learn something. Christina says emails. Yes. Although I think fewer people use email now. I don't think email is as popular as it used to be. Maya Etta says learning. Yes, it is a good place to go to. I hope that my English lessons and my live streams, I hope that they help you. Meeting, says Van Nguyen. That's a good one. Yes. Here is another word. So I will put the word on the screen and then give me one word in reply. Ooh. Family. Family. When you think of family, what do you think of? Using just one word. Family is the next word. Family. I hope there are some good words coming out with family. We will see. Raphael says boring. Oh dear. Is that your response to the word family? Boring. Ooh. Vitas. Oh, Vitas. Love. Family. When you think of family, a word that often comes into your mind is love. You think of your family. Not always. Not always. It is possible to have no love in your family. Maybe some people want to get away from their family and be as far away as possible. Beatrice says union. That's a good one. Yes. You might even say that union is a synonym of family. So we talk about family, we talk about union, a group of people who are together. However, a family is quite often related for various reasons with genetics, their bloodline, or, of course, through marriage as well. You are right. Gulu says group. Yes, the family, the group. We often describe family as a family group. So people who are together, people who meet up, the family. I suppose you could also say friends as well. Hello to Anna. Oh, Anna says safe. I think of family, I think of safe. And that is probably one of the things that springs to mind, maybe a word that many people will think of when they think of family. Especially when we look back to our childhood, you might think, oh, I remember feeling so safe with my family. I used to go home to see my parents, or when I came home from school, I was always glad to see my family. I think so. Christine says blood. Yes, we often use the word blood when we are talking about family, because, as I mentioned a few moments ago, we have bloodline. So your bloodline relates to your family, your distant family, but you have one connection, and that is the fact that you are all sharing that same bloodline. We often hear that word used when we're talking about royalty. So we think of the royal family. We often think of the royal bloodline. Paolo says chest. Okay. Family chest. Maybe you can have a family chest. Maybe a chest can be a place where you keep things. All of the memories of your family, you can keep them in one place. I think so. Christina and also Jimmy say genes. Not the jeans that you wear on your legs, but the genes that are in your body, your genetic makeup. Let's have another word. We will have a couple of more words before I go. Don't forget I'm back tomorrow as well. I am back here tomorrow from 2 p.m. UK time, so don't worry. After I disappear today, you only have another 23 hours to wait. Hello to Angelina. Angelina says bonds. Yes, bond. So we often think of family bond. That's a good one. Here's another one. We have, teenagers. What do you think of when you think of teenagers? Teenagers. One word. The first word that you think of. The first word that comes into your head. Teenagers. Angelina says party. Yes. If there is one thing that teenagers enjoy doing, besides staying in bed and being lazy, okay, I was as a teenager. Sometimes I was a little bit lazy. Teenage problems. Yes, I suppose it would be fair to say that your teenage years are not always easy, not always smooth, not always easygoing. You can have problems. Tomek says troubles. Teenagers. Troubles. Problems. personal problems, difficulties. Maybe especially when it comes to family. That's very strange because we just had family. And quite often, teenagers find it very difficult to get along with their parents. It is a normal thing where teenagers will often become distant from their parents. Gulu says juvenile. Yes, I like that one. Juvenile. That's a good word. Gulu says youth. To be young. To have youth. To be young, fit, healthy. You are in your prime. I think also a good word would be fickle. I think teenagers can be very fickle. It means they constantly change their mind about the things they like. Maybe they like a certain pop group or a rock band, but then a few weeks later maybe they like something else instead. Maybe they have a favourite TV show or internet series that they watch, but then they change their mind and they say, I don't like that anymore. I want to listen to something else. I want to watch something else. So teenage or teenagers, a good word that I would choose is fickle. Fickle. A fickle person will often change their mind about things. Red says acne. That's a good one, although it's not a good thing to have, if I was honest with you. How do you spell that word, Mr. Duncan? Fickle. I will put it on the screen for you. A person who is fickle is a person who cannot stay with one thing for very long. They keep changing their mind. They keep having new things that they want to try or explore. Or maybe they become easily bored by something. To be fickle. 100 DOB says unstoppable. I suppose so. Yes, when you are young, you have lots of energy. Sometimes you use that energy, but sometimes you don't. I think so. Here's another word. I will show maybe one or two more words, and then we will go, or I will go. I don't know what you will do, to be honest. Time. Ooh, time. So when we see the word time, what do you think of? What is the first thing, the first word you think of when you see time? Time. Raphael says wasted. Wasted. Or I suppose also you could say waste. So we often find that we waste time. Something that I talked about, I think it was around about 3 weeks ago. I made a video lesson all about wasting time. Life. Yes, I suppose so. Time. We are talking about life. The time you have, the life you lead, the life you spend, the time that you have in your life. Claudia says unstoppable. That's good. Yes, I like that one. So whatever happens to yourself, whatever happens to me or you, time continues. It goes on. It is unstoppable. I like that one. Van Nguyen says fast. I think it's something we mentioned yesterday. We talked about it yesterday. Time sometimes goes fast. It goes by very quickly. I think you are right. And we will have one more. I think we will have one more. and then I will go. So here is the last word for today. Respond with one word. And this is a very good way of getting your brain to think quickly, because you can write down maybe 10 words and you can look at those words and then think of other words that you can connect to those words. And it's a great way of increasing your word power, but also it's a very good way of getting your brain to think quickly. It's a very good exercise, in fact. Knowledge. Knowledge is the final word that we are looking at today. Knowledge. Red says light. Yes, I like that one. That's very good. To learn something, to have knowledge, is to have light. Maybe something that you find out, something that you did not know, but now you do. Knowledge is light. And you can imagine it shining into your consciousness, bringing new things that you know, new things that you understand. So knowledge, very good. Vitas says strength. Strength, that's a good one. So if you have knowledge, we can also say that you have strength. To know something, to have some knowledge. I suppose another word that I would use is power. Would that be fair? Would it be fair to say knowledge and power go together? I think so. So quite often a person who knows a lot of things or has a lot of knowledge can also have a lot of power. They have an ability that allows them to do something that maybe another person can't do. Maybe someone else cannot do that thing. Knowledge is wisdom. Good. I like that one. We talk about books and also, I suppose, yes, mastery. To master something. If you master something, it means you are able to do it. Something you know about. Something that you have developed a skill doing. Knowledge quite often comes with mastery, with being able to do something. That's good. I like that one. Culture. I suppose culture as well. So you can have knowledge about other people, other places, other parts of the world. Wherever you travel in the world, you will find that you can always gather knowledge. You can always learn something new. Palmyra says advantage. I like that one, yes. Knowledge can be an advantage. It will give you an advantage over other people. And of course, ability. Thank you, Gulu. Ability. If you have knowledge, it means you have ability. Quite often, knowledge requires proof. And you have to sometimes prove that you have the knowledge, or you have to prove that you know those things. I think I will leave it there because I have been with you now for 1 hour and 15 minutes. Wow, that's a long time. I don't want to wear myself out because tomorrow, guess what? Tomorrow, I'm back again. Tomorrow from 2 p.m. UK time. I will put the times and the dates on the screen right now. Would you like to see them? Okay, here they are. So during April of 2022, I will be with you on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which is tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and all of those days I will be with you from 2 p.m. UK time. So 25, there are 25 live streams coming up during the month of April. So I hope you will join me for those. And yes, as I just said, I am with you again tomorrow. I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream. I hope it has been interesting. You can watch it again tomorrow or tonight or in a few moments. You can watch it as many times as you want. And yes, there will be captions coming up later on as well on here. There will be subtitles as well. See you tomorrow, everyone. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and I will see you tomorrow from 2 p.m. UK time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay happy, stay healthy. Keep that smile upon your face. Where has my smile gone? Here it is. And I will see you tomorrow. Oh, by the way, I have some junk mail to show you as well tomorrow. Some more junk mail has come through my door. We'll be looking at that tomorrow as well. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English saying thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. And of course, until the next time we meet here, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Ta-ta for now.